Kam Mercer schedules visit to Kentucky. A big move by Pope to bring a top recruit to the Wildcats. Let's see what's new. College basketball thrives on cycles, and each new crop of talent carries with it the promise of renewal. In the case of Kentucky basketball, this is especially evident when it comes to youngsters like Kam Mercer, a 2028 point guard who is already showing great promise. The news that Mercer will schedule an unofficial visit to the Kentucky campus next Saturday, September 6th, is an opportunity the program cannot afford to miss. With Mark Pope leading the team, there are a lot of possibilities for bringing this young man to Lexington, and the positives of this connection are undeniable. Kam Mercer already demonstrates maturity and an understanding of the game that many athletes only develop years later. Currently with overtime elite, he has been attracting attention for his ability to control the pace of the game and make intelligent decisions on the court. Mercer isn't just a player looking to rack up stats. He thinks collectively, understanding the crucial role of a point guard as a leader and facilitator. This aligns with Mark Pope's philosophy, who since arriving at Kentucky has emphasized the importance of intelligent, fluid, and team-centered play. The visit to Kentucky is no coincidence. Cody Fugger, a representative of Easy Sports Group, the agency representing Mercer, revealed that the Kentucky coaching staff showed genuine interest in the young point guard. More than that, there was a clear effort to tell the program's story, highlighting its tradition and the transformative impact Mark Pope is bringing to the team. This kind of personalized approach is essential to attracting players like Mercer, who value relationships and the long-term vision of coaches. If Pope continues to invest time and energy in this recruitment, the chances of convincing Mercer to wear the blue and white increase considerably. Furthermore, the style of play proposed by Kentucky also seems aligned with Mercer's ambitions. He has already stated that he prioritizes programs that offer a dynamic and adaptable system, where he can grow both individually and collectively. The fact that Mercer wants to stay in college for only 7 or 8 months following the one-and-done model indicates that he's focused on maximizing his development before making the leap to professional basketball. And who better to guide him through this process than Mark Pope, a guy who's prepared to work with top talent. Another advantage of Kentucky is its geographic location, which has never been a limiting factor for Mercer. Although Cincinnati, Ohio State, and other nearby schools are in the running, he's made it clear that distance isn't an obstacle. For Mercer, the most important thing is finding a place where he feels comfortable, valued, and able to grow. Lexington, with its vibrant atmosphere and passion for the Wildcats, can easily offer that. Mercer is also a player who understands the importance of emotional leadership. In interviews, he's mentioned his ability to calm teammates in moments of pressure, ensuring everyone is focused and confident. This quality is invaluable in a sport as mental as basketball, and it fits perfectly with the culture Pope is building at Kentucky. Imagine Mercer on the court, delivering precise assists, dictating the offensive tempo, and remaining calm in critical situations. BBN expects great players. It's worth highlighting the external recognition Mercer has already received. Although he's not yet ranked by the rivals' industry rankings, ESPN ranks him as the 5th best overall prospect in the 2028 class. This reflects not only his potential, but also his consistent performances lately. The Cats are waiting for this recruit to arrive. Let's see how this visit goes. If there was a recurring request among Kentucky fans and analysts in recent years, it was this: to involve the tight ends in the passing attack. Well, in the opener against Toledo, that request was answered loud and clear. For the first time in a long time, not one, but 2 tight ends led the team in receptions and yards. Josh Katas finished with 3 catches for 43 yards, while Willie Rodriguez added 2 for 31. These numbers in a passing attack limited to just 85 total yards gain even more weight. It wasn't a perfect performance, of course. Rodriguez had a promising debut, with an 8-yard reception on Zach Calzada's first completed pass as a Wildcat, followed by an explosive 23-yard run that put the team in scoring territory. But the brilliance turned to frustration on the same play. A strip and fumble gave the ball back to Toledo, one of several self-inflicted mistakes that prevented Kentucky from building a more comfortable lead. Offensive coordinator Bush Hamdan himself didn't hide his dissatisfaction. "We need to take care of the ball in these situations. Today we had a similar feeling. Every time we were about to do something, there was a self-inflicted injury that hurt us." Still, the tight end's performance was encouraging. Katas, a veteran, and increasingly vocal in the locker room, not only produced, but delivered standout moments. His 18-yard reception to open the second half was the most exciting offensive play of the afternoon, culminating in a daring leap over a defender that drew immediate applause. For him, it was a personal milestone. "If I don't get past someone before my college career is over, it's a failed career," he said, laughing at the moment. The celebration with his teammates around him showed that this kind of energy can rub off on the group in future games. What was also clear is that Katas feels a greater responsibility. He himself acknowledged that he could have done more too. Help Calzada in an attack that is still seeking fluidity. A nearly spectacular play on the left sideline which could have ended up being a highlight of the famous "You Got Money" ended up becoming just another what-if of the day. I want to take advantage of every opportunity when I get it, and this is one I'd like to have again, he admitted. The context shouldn't be ignored. The wide receivers had a quiet afternoon, with just 12 total yards, leaving the tight ends to carry the passing attack. Clearly, this dependence can't be repeated throughout the SEC season, but the simple fact that Caddis and Rodriguez were protagonists demonstrates a shift in offensive philosophy. The talent is there, the physicality is there, and, above all, confidence is being built. Hamden was categorical in summing up the duo's potential. I think they can be big threats for us. They're good players, they're physical, they're tough, they're everything you could want. In an opening week where criticism naturally focuses on the passing game's difficulties, this detail becomes one of Kentucky's most promising points. BBM, accustomed to demanding more participation from tight ends, may finally see signs that its voice has been heard. If Caddis and Rodriguez continue to be central pieces of the offensive system, the Wildcats' offense will have a new way to balance production. The debut against Toledo showed that the threats are there. Now, it's up to Stoops and Hamden to address them. Kentucky's victory over Toledo was not only a milestone in the 2025 season schedule, but also a demonstration of maturity and defensive efficiency. And at the center of this story is Chip Trayanum, a player whose trajectory has been marked by challenges, expectations, and twists and turns. His return to Lexington as an opponent added a special spice to the match. But the Wildcats' defense made sure his return was more of a friendly visit than a real threat. Trayanum, with experience at prominent programs like Arizona State and Ohio State, arrived at Kentucky carrying with him a solid reputation and high hopes. His physical strength and versatility, having played both running back and linebacker, seemed like pieces that could fit perfectly into Mark Stoops' tactical puzzle. However, injuries cruelly cut short his time in Lexington. In just 3 games, he accumulated modest numbers, 19 carries for 101 yards. The promise that once shone so brightly was overshadowed by a truncated season. When he decided to return to his home state to play for Toledo, many in Big Blue Nation were curious to see how he would fare against his former team. Trayanum's return to Kroger Field, however, wasn't exactly what he expected. Despite his reputation as a powerhouse in the trenches, the running back found a blue and white wall ready to contain him. He had 14 rushing attempts for just 41 yards, an average of 2.9 yards per carry, numbers that are far from intimidating. Furthermore, except for a 12-yard gain in the second quarter, his plays were consistently limited by the Wildcats' defense. He did contribute in the passing game with 3 receptions for 42 yards, but that wasn't enough to change the course of the match. Most of his production came in the first half, indicating that the Kentucky defense quickly adjusted its strategies to further neutralize him in the second half. This reflects the strategic and executive work of Brad White's defense. Knowing how to stop a player who already knows the system intimately can be a challenge, but the Wildcats showed they were prepared. They studied Trayanum, understood his strengths, and exploited his weaknesses, something that became evident throughout the game. It wasn't just a matter of physical strength, but of tactical intelligence and collective discipline. Whenever Trayanum tried to find space, there was a defender ready to close the gap. Mark Stoops, always balanced in his words, praised Trayanum after the game, highlighting his character and abilities. "I saw Trayanum before the game, and I saw him after," Stoops said. "I'm very happy for him, very proud of him. He's an absolutely fantastic young man and a very good player." These comments reveal mutual respect between the parties, without any trace of resentment. Trayanum, for his part, seems to have approached the reunion with gratitude. Even if his performance was subdued, this positive, professional demeanor is emblematic of the spirit that permeates the Kentucky program under Stoops. No matter who comes or goes, the focus remains on building something bigger. The fact that the defense was able to shut down a player of Trayanum's caliber, especially in an emotionally charged scenario, is a clear sign that the team is on the right track. Looking ahead, this early performance offers positive prospects. For the season, the defense has shown it can handle talented players and adapt quickly to changing circumstances. This will be crucial as the level of competition within the SEC increases. Meanwhile, Trayanum's case serves as a reminder that in college football, stories don't always follow the expected script. Injuries, program changes, and new opportunities can alter trajectories. But what truly defines an athlete is how they respond to these adversities. For Kentucky, the outcome is extremely positive. The 24-16 victory may not have been spectacular, but it was built on solid foundations: a resilient defense, a collective mindset, and the ability to learn from each game. And for Trayanum, while his return to Lexington wasn't the personal triumph he might have dreamed of, his journey remains an inspiration to all those facing obstacles in sports. What do you think? Leave your comments.